What's up guys, it's Drac. We took an early look at this at Busby's version of Toy Fair, but it's time to do a review on the production model, coming off of an admittedly pretty frustrating review of what I thought was the best blaster from Busby this year, the Frantic Fury. We're here to give the Max Morpher a serious chance. So coming in at a little less money, this guy will set you back 1,200 rupees, or it'll set you back 17 United States dollars over at your local Walmart. I say Walmart because it is Adventure Force branded, which means that it's Walmart's in-house brand of outhouse blasters, which is both a comedic turn of phrase and not entirely inaccurate in this case. So, the Max Morpher is a transformer blaster, and that's something that's been done very well in the past with blasters that are modular in certain ways. Things like the Modulus are a perfect example, and it's been done very poorly in the past. Things like the Deploy come to mind. It's deployable. So which end of the spectrum is this one going to come in? Well, at $17 it comes with a blaster. It's clearly a revolver with a lot of funky stuff going on, and then they give you enough darts to load it twice, which is admittedly very cool of Busby. Hopefully these darts have a better glue profile than the ones that came with my Frantic Fury. On the back it just kind of shows you all the different combinations and iterations that it has going on, but we don't care about the box, we care about the blaster. So let's throw that back from a lock to stock, and then let's go ahead and load up our cylinder here. Like I said, it is a cylinder. It should be easy to reload on the fly, and hopefully it's getting that performance threshold that it's claiming on the box, because honestly it kind of needs to. It's firmly in what I would consider to be pseudo-primary territory here, with a 10 dart cylinder of onboard capacity, no additional dart storage, and then really reliant on this sort of gimmick. Now, while the stock is sort of funky, the stock is both a stock and a top rail thing. It's also too wide to be comfortable even on an adult size shoulder. You guys can even see, because of how transparent it is, that like it doesn't fit the meat right. Like I guess you could hold it there like a ball socket and rotate it like a Lego man. I don't know. It's not a particularly great stock, so I think it's just going to get in the way. That said, it would be disingenuous, I feel, to remove it during the review at least. And then you've got this, which is a pump grip, which is actually quite cool. You got pump forward, fire. And this actually has some serious pop. There could be some real performance in here. And then the cool thing is that you can go from a pump grip, which is obviously my preference, to flipping this switch down here, releasing this, and then it comes back and snaps in like this, at which point you guys can tell it engages a rail up here. So instead of priming through the rail like this via this joint here, it now pulls the entire rail back like a top prime, which you're very familiar with in blasters like the Recon or the Retaliator, etc. And you can it's fine guys. I'm a professional. All right, it's not that bad. The stock needs a little bit of love. It definitely needs some work. I think that removing the stock would be serious game for this product, just because it is so incredibly bad. You can't really fit into here, and if you're anywhere up in here, it's legitimately stabbing you. So the way that they want you to remove the stock is to take this, pop it back, and then lock this in like this, and now you have a very compact, almost pistol with a top slide. And this is honestly the best configuration, I feel. Now it's a little clunky, a little ratchety, but what are you gonna do? It's a cool gimmick. I'm sure that a lot of people really like the idea of a modular blaster. I know that the Deploy itself is even like contested as to whether or not it was actually terrible. Let's take it outside, let's put it over the chronograph, we'll give you some final thoughts. Alright guys, so we're out here, we brought the Morpher, we're going to put it over the chronograph. I think I captured my thoughts on ergonomics pretty well in the studio. Dollar for dollar, I don't think that this is necessarily the best use of your money on the market right now. However, let's go ahead, let's leave it in its best form factor. We got 70, that was an error. Alright, 71, 79, 57, very strange. 68. So something about the plunger, it sounds funky. It sounds better than I think it is, which tells me that it doesn't have like a great plunger to barrel ratio, or maybe the seal here isn't that good. When I say it sounds good, I mean it's got a good kind of metallic thwack to it, but if it's not performing as well as the other ones, then it's clear that their breech system is better than their cylinder system. So let's put a few down into the firing range. We'll give you kind of a realistic range test. So their claiming range is of up to 100. We'll give it a very tall individual, shouldered firing at maximum angle, and I mean, they're not far off. These super lightweight darts of Busby's really catch air well. So I mean, that's an 80-foot shot from something with elite style sort of FPS, and it just kind of tells you why the amalgamation of those two factors is very important. Depends on what your ammo is, depends on what your angle is. Like, ergonomically, this blaster is a disaster. That's pretty funny. Disaster blaster. If you rip the stock off and use it as like a pump action revolver, I think that this guy kind of has the juice. I mean, those long-range shots you're never going to hit anything with because they are definitely floaty, but direct shots aren't terrible, and as a stock blaster at this price point, it's not as bad as I initially might have thought it was. Like, this is certainly super stock war practical, especially if you have a ton of darts all over the ground and you can load off of that ground. Like, it's not terrible. It definitely could use a couple of tweaks and tricks, but it's not that bad. And like I said, I mean, it does have a compact form that is somewhat reasonable, but that's just a lot of wasted space. So that's my take on it. Is it worth 17 bucks? Hard to say. I think that this would be like pushing it for a $17 purchase. That said, other blaster manufacturers don't have a lot of things necessarily in this range. I think that Dart Zone's offerings around here are really good. I think that Nerf is essentially trying to sell you Fortnite micro shots at this price, and so certainly better than buying a weaker primary from Hasbro. However, Hasbro's more premium blasters at super serious price points blow this out of the water in pretty much every form factor and criteria outside of just raw range. So let me know, what do you think in the comment section below? Would you carry this into battle? Would you be able to shoulder this stock, or should I mail it off to Beret? Make him suffer for a little while. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully it makes you a slightly more informed purchaser, especially with the holidays coming up. It's really important to me to get these honest reviews out there for you. I know that the algorithm might not appreciate them, but you guys certainly seem to dig them. So leave me a comment, leave me a like, let me know that you dug it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love, Nerf on, Drac out.